Welcome to Political Speeches Day 4. Today we are going to be taking that quiz on the posted pad and ethos, logos, and pathos that we talked about last time. Real quick, 15-20 minutes. We'll do that right at the beginning of class, and then we're going to talk about using the context and the occasion, that little intro excerpt, a little more in depth about how to use that to our advantage. So, here's the quiz. Good luck. Alright, so first, we're going to look at former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice's address to the Republican National Convention in 2012. Now, for a little bit, we're going to be talking about just this little italicized excerpt. It's a sentence long, but it does mean a lot. As it says, former Secretary of State 2005 to 2009, Condoleezza Rice's remarks, August 29, at the Republican National Convention in Tampa, Florida, as prepared for delivery. The link is as follows. Now, we're going to break it down, because breaking it down is always the solution. Who? Well, it's Dr. Condoleezza Rice. Great, we figured that out, but not really. Who is Dr. Condoleezza Rice, and why is she speaking, and what is she going to be saying? Well, as it said before, she's the former Secretary of State, and if we couldn't figure out, based on the fact that she's speaking at the Republican National Convention, that she's a Republican, well, she served as Secretary of State from 2005 to 2009, which was Mr. Bush's second term. So, therefore, we know she's a Republican. From there, who is she talking to? It's the Republican National Convention. Now, this is key. It's a convention. She's not talking to Republicans, because it is a convention. At conventions, Democrats don't talk to Democrats, and Republicans don't talk to Republicans. They talk to what we call the 10% swing vote. You know, that 10% that is neither Republican nor Democratic, that will swing, that is the deciding 10% of the election. So whenever we see convention, it's not the party that they're addressing, it's the 10%. And then occasion and context. This, obviously, again, is very important. You know, what's happening in the U.S.? Well, 2012, we had high unemployment, we had a growing debt, and we had national and foreign security issues and questions. Now, these are big things, and you know, what Condi Rice is going to do in her speech is say, you know, we stand for free people, free markets, okay? That's addressing national and foreign security. So pretty much she's saying, this is how we would do it, while without saying that the Obama administration is doing it poorly, she said it, just by, you know, taking the context of the situation and throwing her words into it. So using this to our advantage, you know, the first thing is first, look at the time. You know, what era is it a part of? Obviously, Condi Rice's is easy. It's modern, what's going on in the world today, a lot. But also, you know, if it's President Roosevelt, then, okay, what's happening in the world? Well, the Great Depression is, so he's going to be addressing the Great Depression some more. Or if it's President Lincoln, the Civil War, the Union is divided, he wants to bring it back together. You know, Winston Churchill, World War II, you know, the world is at war. How do we unify ourselves against a common evil? And then, are there significant events in the outside world that could have an influence on what's being said? There always is, especially when it's political. With Condi Rice's address, you know, look at national security, and she's a national security specialist. She was a Secretary of State, so she's very credible. There's your ethos, Secretary of State. And look at the who. You know, is it a politician? Condi Rice? Yes, she is. And what does she gain from saying this? Well, she wants Mitt Romney to win. So if she can convince the 10% that the Republicans know how to do it and the Democrats don't have a clue, well, then Mitt Romney wins, she wins. It's a win-win. Or if it's Mitt Romney talking, you know, what does he have to gain from saying what he says? Well, he gets to be president, or if it's President Obama, he gets to be president for a second time. So it's really to their advantage. You know, politicians are always trying to get something. They're never just saying something for the good of the cause. They're saying it to get something. And how they're going to do that is they're going to try and make you think something. Whether it's true or false, I don't know, but they're going to make you try to think something. Mitt Romney is going to make you try to think that Obama doesn't know what he's doing, and Mitt Romney has the solution because he's a businessman. And Barack Obama is going to come back and say, no, Mr. Romney. I'm the president, I know how to do this. You're just a businessman, you don't know anything. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to play off of that. Or is it a celebrity? In which case, what do they want you to think? Do they want you to buy something? Do they want you to donate to a charity? Do they want you to think that they are the greatest actress ever? Great. They're trying to prove a point. No matter what in a speech, you're trying to prove a point. So then look at the where. Is it a convention? Like I said, if it is a convention, they're talking about the 10%, this independent swing vote that is moderate. It's not Republican, it's not Democratic. It's the 10% that every 4 years elects the President of the United States. And at a convention, this is who they're talking to. Condi Rice is talking to the 10%. Barack Obama would be talking to the 10%. It's not Republicans and it's not Democrats. 2, is this an inaugural address? If it is, a lot of times they're talking to the other side, but overall to everyone, because they want, after months and months of this dirty political game that we have in the United States, they want to come together and say, hey, let's all be Americans, I won, do what I tell you to do, but let's do it together. Or, if it's in a time of crisis, say the Great Depression or a Civil War, they're going to talk to everybody, and the president is going to say, you may disagree with me, yes, but this is what we're going to do. And they will be calling for unity, most likely. Alright, so, now, after going through all that, what questions do you guys have? Posted pad, context, rhetoric, political speeches, jargon, anything at all. We're going to take the next 20 minutes to go through what you guys are confused by to make sure that you understand it for our lovely homework assignment, which today is going to be to read the good Secretary of State Condi Rice's address to the Republican National Convention and take notes, because next class you're going to have to write a rhetorical analysis of the speech in time. So, have fun with that, and we'll see you next class.